Hello and welcome to Reality TV News Update, where you'll find the most recent news, entertaining moments, and exclusive behind-the-scenes content. After months of speculation surrounding his close bond with housemate Morgan Pope, Big Brother alum Vince Panaro is finally addressing where things stand in his real-life relationship. In a candid new interview, the CBS reality star opened up about his split from longtime girlfriend Kelsey, admitting the experience inside the house forced him to confront hard truths about himself and the blurred lines that sparked Showmance drama. Panaro recently appeared on the God 101 podcast, hosted by Big Brother host Julie Chan Moonves. In the interview, Vince discussed his current relationship status. At least for the time being, it would appear that he is single. Vince stated, "We've talked about everything. I've had a lot of honest conversations with Kelsey and everyone else in my life, and we're not currently together. We are taking a break." Panaro and Kelsey were dating when he entered the Big Brother 27 house in July 2025. Before he joined the cast of Big Brother 27, the couple had been together for 7 years. Panaro added, "I'm doing a lot of self-work and focusing on my areas of improvement. Despite the fact that Big Brother was the most amazing experience of my life, which I will never forget, it did bring to light a few opportunities within myself. I've just been trying to work on becoming the best version of myself I can be by spending a lot of time alone and with friends and family." Even though they aren't together anymore, Vince did say that he and Kelsey still talk to each other. He said, "At the moment, we're not together, but last time I spoke to her, she's doing well." There was a lot of speculation that Vince and Morgan were having an affair when they were in the house. Panaro addressed these rumors in an October YouTube video, declaring, "Kelsey and I have talked everything out. We have talked about everything and anything possible, and we're currently taking time to process everything individually and, figure out what things look like after that." He did state that lines started to blur, but he did admit to being in a relationship entering that house, so that's all on me. Additionally, I comprehend the way it appeared. Vince then seemed to ice out Morgan after the show. Pope posted about it in October, too, saying she felt frustrated with not hearing from him. So for now, it looks like Vince is single all the way around, and that is probably best for him. When the Big Brother house lights finally dimmed and the confetti settled, Vince Panaro thought the hardest part of the summer was over. He had gotten through weeks of competitions, betrayals, surprises, and emotional confessions in the diary room. But as he quickly learned, life outside the house can be even more complicated than the game itself, especially when millions of viewers have watched your personal relationships unfold in real time. In the weeks following the finale, speculation swirled across social media about Vince's romantic life. Throughout the season, viewers witnessed him develop a close relationship with fellow houseguest Alyssa Farper, which many fans described as a full-blown showmance. Their late-night conversations, playful flirting, and protective gameplay towards each other became a central storyline of the season. Yet outside the house, Vince had entered the game with a long-term girlfriend, Kelsey Morgan, something he briefly mentioned early in the season but rarely discussed afterward. Now Vince is finally addressing everything. The house is a different reality. In his first lengthy post-show interview, Vince acknowledged that the Big Brother environment affects people in ways that are difficult to comprehend without having experienced them firsthand. He explained, "You're cut off from everything. No phone, no music, no family, no friends. The only people you have are the ones in that house. Emotions get magnified. Friendships feel deeper, conflicts feel bigger, and connections happen really fast." Vince said his relationship with Alyssa grew from simple trust in the game rather than an intentional romance. He stated, "It honestly started as strategy. We worked well together. When you can't sleep and your thoughts are racing about who might vote you out next, she was someone I could talk to at 3 in the morning. Over time, we leaned on each other emotionally. But looking back, I can see why people saw more. Throughout the season, cameras frequently captured the pair whispering in the backyard hammocks, cooking together in the kitchen, and occasionally holding hands. The story seemed clear to fans. He insists it was more difficult for Vince. He said quietly, "I never went in there with the intention of hurting anyone, but the house messes with your sense of time and reality. Days feel like weeks." The conversation with Kelsey. The most frequently asked question by viewers following the conclusion of the show concerned Kelsey, not strategy or jury votes. Rumors circulated that she was blindsided by what she saw on television. Before Vince left the studio lot, some viewers even hypothesized that the relationship was over. Vince revealed that their first real conversation after the show was emotional, honest, and difficult. He stated, "We talked for hours. She told me exactly how she felt watching it. I listened. I didn't interrupt. I owed her that." He acknowledged that he was uncomfortable watching the episodes himself. He admitted, "There were moments I cringed at, not because my feelings weren't real in the moment, but because I realized how it looked to someone I love outside the game. Inside, you don't fully comprehend it." According to Vince, the couple did not immediately decide their future. Instead, they chose to take time away from cameras and social media. He said, "We needed privacy. The internet wants answers instantly. Real relationships don't work like that." Where they stand now. After weeks of speculation, Vince confirmed he and Kelsey are still together, but rebuilding. He said, "We're working on it. I'm not going to pretend everything magically fixed overnight. Trust takes time. However, she is a remarkable individual, and I deeply care about her. The fact that she was even willing to have the conversation means everything to me." He emphasized that accountability was important. He clarified, "I'm not blaming the game. I chose my own things. The environment influenced emotions, but I still have to own what happened." Alyssa was also contacted by Vince to clear the air. He shared, "We talked once. I thanked her for being my ally and friend. However, we both realized that that experience was the source of our connection. Life outside the house is different." Reactions from fans and online pressure. The reaction online has been intense. While some fans defended Vince, others criticized him harshly, accusing him of disrespecting his relationship for television exposure. He admits the negativity has been overwhelming. He stated, "I expected opinions. I didn't expect people messaging my family or sending hate to Kelsey. That part has been the hardest. She didn't sign up to have millions of people judge her." Vince stated that he has deliberately avoided reading comments. "You can't heal while refreshing your notifications every 5 minutes," he laughed. "I'm focusing on real conversations, not comment sections." Lessons from the experience. Vince did Big Brother with no regrets. He claims that the show helped him improve his communication skills, self-awareness, and emotional pressure management. He acknowledged, "I learned I avoid difficult conversations until I'm forced into them. I'm trying to change that now. I'm being more open, more honest, and more present." He also gained perspective about perception versus intention. He wrote, "You can mean one thing, but people see another, and sometimes they're not wrong. Watching yourself on TV is like holding up a mirror you can't look away from." What's next? Since leaving the house, Vince has returned home and resumed normal routines, seeing family, reconnecting with friends, and adjusting to sudden recognition from fans. He said, "It's weird when someone at a coffee shop knows your alliances from week 3, joked. He says he's open to opportunities in media and podcasts for his career, but personal stability is his top priority. He said,
I want my real life solid before chasing anything else. Fame fades. Relationships are what stay. Final thoughts. Looking back, Vince describes the summer as both the best and most challenging experience of his life. He walked into the house thinking it was just a game. He walked out realizing it affects real people, real feelings, and real relationships. His message to viewers is simple. Judge gameplay all you want, that's fair. But remember, there are human beings behind the edits. We're still figuring things out just like everyone else. For Vince Panaro, the competitions may be over, but the real test, rebuilding trust and moving forward,
Vince Panaro anticipated that the final jury vote would be his greatest obstacle after months of strategy, alliances, and intense competition within the Big Brother house. Instead, the real emotional fallout began once he stepped back into the outside world. Vince became one of the most talked-about house guests throughout the season due to his gameplay as well as his developing relationship with fellow contestant Alyssa Hart. Their late-night talks, inside jokes, and constant partnership quickly turned into what fans labeled the season's defining showmance. But outside the house, Vince had a girlfriend, Kelsey Reed, whom he had been dating long before entering the game. By the end of the show, viewers were not only debating strategy, but also his relationship. Now, weeks after the finale aired, Vince is finally speaking openly about what happened and where things stand today. A house that changes reality. Vince claims that experiencing the Big Brother environment is the only way to truly comprehend how different it is. He stated, "You're living in a pressure cooker. You don't have your phone, you don't know what day it is half the time, and you only have the same people around you 24/7. Your emotions get amplified. It feels like the most important person in the world to have someone comfort you after a competition loss." He claimed that his relationship with Alyssa did not begin romantically. "At first, she was just my safest person in the game," Vince explained. "Strategically, we relied on each other's trust. However, when you're stressed and isolated, emotional support is everything. Every night, we talked about our families, our fears, and life after the show. It naturally grew closer." Viewers watched the two cuddle on backyard couches, cook meals together, and repeatedly protect one another during nominations. There was instant chemistry. Nevertheless, Vince claims that he was in conflict throughout. "I thought about home a lot," he admitted. "But inside the house, you convince yourself you'll deal with real life later. That is the error. Real life doesn't pause while you're playing." Watching it back. When Vince finally watched the episodes after the finale, that was the turning point. Seeing his actions from the outside perspective hit him harder than any competition loss. He stated, "It was uncomfortable. In the moment, you justify everything. I realized how hurtful it could be by replaying it. Even though I didn't think I was at the time, I saw times when I crossed emotional lines." Except for a brief meeting backstage, he had not spoken directly with Kelsey prior to the finale. The two finally had a private conversation after returning home. "We talked for hours. Honestly, probably the hardest conversation of my life," Vince revealed. "She told me how it felt watching the feeds and episodes. I did not offer a defense. I simply listened," he said. He apologized without excuses. "I can't cover up by saying it's just a game. Even in a game, emotions are real. Do they remain together? The biggest question from fans has been simple. Did the relationship survive?" Vince confirmed, "Yes, we continue to be together, but we're rebuilding." He explained that they decided not to rush decisions immediately after the show. He stated that we needed space from cameras and social media opinions. The internet desired either an instant split or a fairy tale reunion. Relationships are messier than that. Vince says that building trust has been the hardest part. He acknowledged, "I hurt someone who completely trusted me. You cannot remedy that with a single apology. You fix it with consistency, showing up every day and proving you learned something." He attributes the opportunity to repair things to Kelsey. He didn't have to. Everything about her willingness to talk was important. Clearing the air with Alyssa. After the show, Vince also talked about his relationship with Alyssa. He denies any notion that the two would continue their relationship after filming was over. "We had one real conversation outside the house," he said. "We both agreed that the things we talked about were from that experience. It was real at the time, but it wasn't made to be used in real life." He said that their connection was temporary rather than ongoing. You meet someone during the most intense social experiment possible. Naturally, it feels powerful. However, there are responsibilities, history, and people waiting for you in the real world. Looking at the fans. There has been a divide in public opinion. Some viewers felt for Vince and claimed that the setting of the house explains his emotional choices. Others strongly criticized him. Vince stated, "The hardest part hasn't even been criticism toward me. It's been seeing hate directed at Kelsey. She didn't choose to be on TV, yet strangers think they can judge her." He has since limited his time online. "I quickly discovered that reading every comment is unhealthy. I'm focusing on real conversations, therapy, and growth instead of notifications." What we've learned. Looking back, Vince says the experience forced him to confront parts of himself he hadn't examined before. He stated, "I learned that I avoid difficult conversations in real life. Inside the house, I replaced real communication with comfort. That's something I'm actively working on." Additionally, he learned how reality television affects perception. You may feel loyal and honest, but the cameras show actions, not intentions, and actions matter more. Despite everything, he doesn't regret going on the show. "It pushed me to grow," he explained. "Painful growth, but growth." Continuing forward. Vince has resumed a more tranquil routine since leaving the house, reconnecting with family, returning to normal daily life, and gradually adjusting to fans' recognition. He chuckled, "People come up to me and ask about Week 4 alliances. I'm still getting used to strangers knowing my strategy better than my friends do." He is open to podcasts and appearances related to the show, but says his focus is personal, not professional. "Fixing what is important to me at home is my top priority. Fame is fleeting. Real relationships are permanent." Final thoughts. The Big Brother season did not come to an end on finale night for Vince Panaro. The real consequences began afterwards, once cameras stopped rolling and real emotions had to be faced without edits or competitions. He walked into the house thinking it was just a social game. He walked out realizing your choices follow you home. His message to fans is one of perspective. Enjoy the drama, analyze the gameplay, that's part of the fun. Just remember the people you're watching have lives outside those walls. We're not characters. We are learning right now. The Showmance may have been television's story of the summer, but Vince's real story is what came after: accountability, forgiveness, and the long process of rebuilding trust beyond the Big Brother house.